This Skillet album, it's not good. The music world is so vast and endless that if you tried to listen to every great album that was ever recorded and would ever be recorded, you'd never finish, never. But in that never-ending search for greatness, chances are you will also run into some of the worst music the music world has to offer. And that is essentially how this Skillet album came into my life. I've heard so many bands that I'm sometimes surprised by what I haven't heard. And I say that because this band has been releasing music since the late 90s, which surprises me because this band's sound would have totally been in my wheelhouse when I was like an angsty, nu metal loving high schooler. And back then, I used to listen to all those awful alt metal acts, like from the Ozfest headliners to the bottom of the barrel bands that everybody tries their hardest to not remember. And even though I ran in these circles, I don't remember anybody saying ever, "Hey dude, did you listen to that new Skillet record, man?" Now this might have had something to do with the fact that Skillet has spent the last decade virtually hitless. But that's okay, man, because Skillet, they don't do it for the fame. They don't do it for the money, man. They're doing it for the big G. I feel tricked, man. I went on Apple Music. I saw this edgy ass album cover. I was gonna settle down, pop in a lip ring, get my raver pants on, get a little eyeliner on, and just chill out, feed the dark side of my teenage soul. And before you know it, I'm listening to a song with lyrics about being saved from hell because the angels don't come down here. Christian gospel music is one thing. I mean, I enjoy quite a bit of it, actually. I think there's an old-timey beauty and charm to it that I like a lot. But when you start like dropping corny, Christianized metal music, that's really when you start to lose me. Let's just sample a little bit of this record. How does this album exist in 2016? Where is the market for this? Is the Atlantic Recording Company hoping to get a time machine, go back to 2002, bring high schoolers to 2016 just to have an audience for this thing? The radio market that used to be home to rock music that sound like this, pretty much dead. And the edgy teenagers of today, they're not listening to Christianized Trent Reznor ripoffs. The cleanly sung vocals on this thing, are terrible. Occasionally the band works in these very glitzy, clean choral arrangements, which are even worse. The guitars are the definition of overproduced. They're just kind of like that just cliched nu metal tone. The bass, of course, is morphed into the guitars. The drums don't really bring much to the equation. A couple times I heard some glitzy synthesizers that sounded like something off of Andrew WK's I Get Wet, but this album is not looking to party. Rather, Skillet overloads their tracks with the kind of melodrama that you typically get from a band who clearly thinks that the message they're delivering to you in their songs is super important. I mean, you know, they're saving souls, man. They're saving souls. I will give it to the band that sometimes they put up a couple choruses that are semi-catchy. Like, I could see them working in a bunch of different musical contexts. The problem, though, is that the sound of these songs, the sound of this record, is like 10 to 15 years too late. And even if you go back that far, like to the band's records that they came out with in the early 2000s, they weren't exactly doing the whole alt metal thing any justice then either. Back then, they just kind of sounded like a hodgepodge of all their contemporaries. And now they're just continuing to do that, but with way less of a potential audience, because who wants to hear this kind of metal and rock right now, especially again with the religious angle coming from the lyrics. Skillet album, not good. Tran,
Not good. Not good. Not good.
forever.